Hi, my name is Gillian and for the last 3.5 years I've been doing a university course called a PhD at the University of York. For the PhD I had to come up with a topic that interested me, so something that I would like to find out more about. And I chose to find out more about friendship and people with learning disabilities. So I found 8 people with learning disabilities who were willing to take part in 6 to 10 interviews, just one-to-one with me, and then some of them also decided to take part in 2 focus group discussions about friendship as well. One of the first questions that I asked people was what they thought of the term learning disability. So did they prefer the term learning difficulty, for example? And people gave me 2 types of answers to that. The first was that they definitely preferred learning disability. And the second answer that people gave was it doesn't matter whether you use learning disability or learning difficulty because they both mean the same thing. So for my project I decided to go with the term learning disability. So I was interested in finding out about friendship, and in particular I had 4 questions that I wanted people to answer. Firstly, what does friendship mean to them? Then secondly, what makes making and keeping friends easy? And the third question was, what makes making and keeping friends difficult? And finally, how do people overcome those difficulties in day-to-day life? So the purpose of the video is just to tell you a little bit about what I found out about those 4 questions. So thinking about the first question, what friendship means. People told me that friendship can involve different feelings. It can involve feelings of appreciation, so liking somebody for who they are, feelings of love, but not in the same way as romantic love, because that involves a physical element that friendship doesn't. Feelings of respect, and also feelings of connection between one person or feeling connected to a group of people. Those were all important in friendship. There were other elements of friendship that were important to people, so humour, having a laugh with your friends and joking around. Honesty was one of the most important, and that meant not just telling the truth, but making sure that you tell the truth in a clear way that's understandable to the other person. So part of honesty was making sure that the other person had understood what you were saying. Trust was also an important aspect of friendship, so trusting that if you tell your friends something that you want kept private, that they would do that for you. Another important part of friendship was similarity, and that meant different things for different people. For example, most of the female participants said that they would rather make friends with other women, whereas for men it didn't matter whether their friends were male or female. Most people said that they would like to have friends who were the same age as them, although occasionally it didn't matter, as some people had friends who were quite a bit older than them. For some people, but not for all, it was important that their friends had the same religious beliefs as them, or they had a similar outlook on the meaning of life and spiritual matters. But as I say, that wasn't the case for everybody. For some people that didn't matter. Most friends had shared some kind of similar interests, so going out dancing, clubbing, walking, playing snooker, watching sports together, going to the cinema, that kind of thing was quite important. Most people said that it didn't matter whether their friends had a learning disability or not. Only one person said that they found it a bit easier to make friends with other people with learning disabilities, and one person said that they didn't want to make friends with other people with disabilities, but for everybody else it didn't matter. Spending time together was another important aspect of friendship, so that explains in a way why shared interests were so important. People spent time together going out doing hobbies, playing tennis, dancing, going clubbing, and people also spent time at each other's houses just watching a DVD or having meals and that kind of thing. helping each other was another big part of friendship. And there were two main types of help that people offered. So the first type was practical help, so that could be help with the shopping, help with your computer, or helping out with a person-centred plan. And the second type was emotional help. And emotional help had lots of different aspects to it, so lots of different things made up emotional help. Firstly, being able to talk about private things was important, and as I mentioned before, knowing that you can talk about those things and that your friend won't tell anybody else was very important. And then there's the other side of that, so people felt that listening to their friends was really important, and people talked about trying while they were listening to really accept the other person and to really understand what it was that they were saying to them. Listening helped with another part of emotional help, which was being there for somebody. So that could involve listening to them when they need listened to, but that also involved things like praying for somebody or just physically being present for them. For example, one person talked about helping her friend by going along to a party with her because she was nervous. And these aspects of emotional help all kind of combine together to give people a sense of self-worth and what one person called a sense of validation. If people felt able to give emotional help and also able to receive it, then it helped them gain a feeling of worth as a person.